snow globe in God's big black hands. From where I stand, the stars are holes in this big black expanse. So come see me amongst the Pleiades, sun Kazemi. Come a long way from dusty thumbs with the Chiwis, smoking BDs. Big head Don Juans become Don BBs. Some unsung, but we deities. In the booth, I chew nooses and moon crickets. My granny cop new lotto tickets while the doom clock's ticking. And my jacket, your tax bracket, willful ignorance. Farm to table, milfs and intimates. Nice teddy, put little man to bed already. The bondage a nice touch, but your hair still gon' get sweaty. I still love you in the morning like the dollar store. I'm kinda sorta like a hidden mommy connoisseur. The jaw dropping come easy for the Commodore. Just record my inner monologue. Flourish, nigga. Flourish, nigga. Flourish.
Oh man, that's one of my favorites too. That's another Quelle Chris gem. That's another Quelle Chris gem. He played that for me at his home. Most of the album was done, I believe. And I heard that, and the moment he played the track, I was like, I need that. And he's like, you got it. I just knew. I just was like, this is gonna be the track to close the record. I knew it when I heard it. I was like, that's the ending credits. That's the closing track for the record. I just knew it. That- That's a great question. I think sonically, I look to see if if I have an immediate reaction, that's usually a good thing, right? Like, and I don't just mean an outward reaction, like, in my head when I'm hearing it, if it sounds right for me, or if it just sounds right, or musically it's moving me, that will make me focus on that track. Like, okay, that's something I'm interested in. So that's usually that happens within seconds. Other times, there have been times where I've heard the track and the song came right away. There's times where I heard a track and I had to sit with it for a while, but I knew that I loved the music and that I wanted to be a part of what was going to be in the final composition. Um, I think, well, when it comes to the music, I don't think there's much for me to reconcile per se, in the sense that I think the music's in a great place. There's a lot of artists that are making a lot of great music, and I think that's amazing. I think it's a great time in hip hop. It's a great time to be a part of hip hop. I may have different feelings on the marketplace of hip hop, but
What does that mean
those
in the marketplace? What do you mean by that?
well, when the industry's evolving, right? It evolved 20 plus years ago when we first started hitting digital music being the main means, right, that listeners accessed it. Um, and it had other changes along the way with the introduction of like platforms like Spotify, let's say, right? So I think it's in the marketplace is in constant change almost. And a lot of times artists or the art responds to that. It's kind of like a feedback loop, right? Artists respond to that and the marketplace respond to the artist, etc. But if I'm speaking just about the artist and the art form, I think it's in a great place. Like there's hip hop for any listener, you know? Um, so there's nothing really much for me to reconcile there. I think I challenge listeners to celebrate what they like as much as they pinpoint what they hate, because there's so much out there. You know what I mean? There's things that I don't necessarily enjoy. Maybe what's changed with me is the way that I respond to the music. There's music that may not be for me, but I can still see its value. I might not have been the target audience for it, maybe age wise, maybe whatever, but it doesn't mean that it's quote unquote whack. You know what I'm saying? I don't like necessarily there's also music that I didn't appreciate when I was younger that I appreciate so much more now in context. Oh wow, that's a great question. If they've never heard me before and it was a song from this project, maybe I would say Can't Leave It Alone, only because you don't have to be fully in tune with the headier corners of lyrical hip hop to enjoy a record like that, even though it has lyrical components, there's also beautiful singing and instrumentation, and it's warm, and it still has elements of my story. So I think that could be a great general invitation. But if people wanted to dig, I guess, further beneath the surface, there's a song from my last record called Reprise that a lot of people celebrate, and it almost serves as an ode to Brooklyn, an ode to love lost and in remembrance of a friend who's no longer with us. I want people to feel something ultimately when they dive into my catalog. I want them to be reminded that even when listening to rap music, that they can be moved, whether it be moved to joy or moved to the point of tears, and remember that we're connected and that this is a real experience.